Good morning. Hello, good morning. Alrighty, I'm going to dive straight in while I still have my voice. I touched on this yesterday when I ran my live yesterday, but I really think this topic deserves a little bit more depth and exploration, really. And hey, Jennifer. So this is something. Hey, Jolene. So this is something that I'm having this conversation over and over again a little bit, and so I think it's really worth delving into a little bit more. So obviously I'm working with entrepreneurs every day, and there's always this fear around launch. There's this fear around either changing direction, doing a pivot in their business and changing direction because the alignment isn't quite right in their current business, or the branding's not quite right, or they feel like it's time to launch something new and the fear gets in the way. Or they're ready to run, their Facebook ads campaign, and then the fear is in the way again. And I'm talking about fear a lot, but honestly, this is the thing that trips people up day in, day out. This is the monster that keeps people stuck so much. And so what I want to do is break it down to two simple things. And as I said, I touched on this yesterday, but as an entrepreneur, you have two choices. You have the choice to go for your dreams and take risks in your business, or you have the choice to do nothing and stay in your comfort zone. And as entrepreneurs, innately, we're kind of risk takers. We're not like everybody else, and we have a higher capacity for risk than other people. But if we've been in our business for a little while and we've started to have some measure of success, what happens is we can get stuck in that place, because then we fear if we create too much change, then we're letting go of what we've already created. I love the saying, don't hold on to good at the expense of what can be great. And what that means is that if we stay safe and we stay within our comfort zone, then what's going to happen is, that might feel good, but we never actually get to really experience what is possible for us. And just to share my own story, in March, I was sitting in a conference in Florida in the US, and there were so many speakers on the stage, and out of 30 speakers or something, there were maybe 2 that were okay. And I remember sitting there thinking, oh my God, I need to be doing this. I can kill this. I need to be on stage. I hadn't felt that way in such a long time, but I was just feeling really compelled. And the other thing that was pissing me off about the event was these people that were manufacturing stories of struggle, and what's it called? The hero's journey. And it just felt so contrived and total BS, And I remember sitting there thinking, you think you've got a story? I've got an actual friggin' story, And I started to get really pissed about it and thinking, but everybody in the audience was just lapping it up. And I'm thinking, wow, how does this even happen? How do people not get that this is a performance here right now? There's not an ounce of authenticity. There's not an ounce of passion. There's not an ounce of realness about any of it. It was doing my head in, and I was sitting there thinking, I need to be doing this. I need to be doing this. I need to be doing this. I can do it better. I can do it my way. And then it was such a big hill to climb. And so I'm thinking, how the hell am I even going to manage that? But here I am, 2 months later, and we're about to fill our events in the US, and not small events. We'll be speaking in front of 150 women at these events, along with our events in Melbourne and Perth. But from the moment I made that decision, I knew it had to happen. And I kind of planned for it to happen sometime in the future. But then an opportunity presented itself. And this is what happens when you make a decision about something, when you commit to something, shit shows up to help you do it. And I was presented with this opportunity to work with this amazing team to help me get these events up and running. I contacted a girlfriend of mine, she was in, we decided to do it together because we're more powerful together. And here we are sitting on the precipice of something really friggin' amazing. So Jolene, we are going to be in New York, but not this year. It's going to be, we need to come back and do another tour in Australia in August, September, but then New York is on the cards for next year. But you know, this is such a big step for us, but really it was just making the decision to do it. And that's what I want to talk with you about today. So I had the decision to say, I can keep doing what I'm doing and it's okay and it's pretty good and it's, you know, I make enough money and all that sort of stuff and it's comfortable and it's safe and all that sort of stuff. Or I can really shake shit up and do what my heart is calling me to do, which is go and have a massive impact, not just here, but in the States as well, and to speak to a bigger audience, because that way and do it live. And that way I get to have more impact than I'm having right now. And I know that that is going to bring its own magic. I know that the doors that's going to open, the journey that's going to put me on is going to be incredible. And so, you know, your decision right now might not be, you know, as scary or as big as that right now, but you have decisions that you need to make. I know that, because you can't ever sit still in business. And you know, as entrepreneurs, we don't just go, oh, I launched that thing, that's perfect, and I'm just going to do this thing for the next 10 years. We don't work like that. We evolve rapidly, we move fast, and then we expand into that. You know, we set the bar, we expand into that, and then we're ready to go on to the next thing. That's just who we are. And if we ignore that, that's when we make a mess, and that's when we turn stagnant, and that's when we stop to make, you know, that's when we stop making sales, that's when we stop feeling successful, that's when we just get stuck. And so it's important to continue to take those leaps. And I said yes. You know, I said yes, it's unfolding, it's happening beautifully, I'm enjoying the ride, it feels amazing. And I'm very, very excited about where things are coming. But it was only the other day that I looked back and thought, crap, that was only like weeks ago, really, that I was sitting there in this conference for 3 days, rolling my eyes constantly, thinking, oh my God, you know, we could do this so much better. I can do this so much better. And then, you know, the decision to do that, having some key conversations, opening up opportunities, saying yes, and then letting it unfold. And that's what it takes. And it can happen so quickly, but you have to be brave enough to say yes. And so that's where people often get stuck. And that's why having an amazing coach to support you, to be as a sounding board, to actually run things through a bit of a filter that you can't see, to be able to say, you know, and I'm totally honest with anyone that I work with, I don't think that's going to work. We need to work on that. I don't think there's a lot of clarity there. Or I think maybe if you do it this way, what do you think about that? A good coach is going to help you get over that initial hump of being scared. And then they're going to talk you off the ledge whenever you feel like you know, made a mistake. And there are never any mistakes. Know that for sure. Know that you are always guided to take that next step. And sometimes it shows up, it doesn't look like the way you expected that it was going to look, and that's okay. You know, it's totally okay to just be open to knowing that I've made this decision, this is the thing that's going to happen, and then the way will just show up, and you just need to be attuned to that. And you need to take the action. You need to continue to take the action. You need to continue to stay in alignment. You need to continue to remember your why. And then you need to continue to just believe and trust and have faith and go forward as if it's, you know, as if it's working out the way that you want it to. It's difficult to do that on your own. If you already feel a little bit fearful and you do tend to get stuck, it is hard to do it on your own. Anyone who's ever told you being an entrepreneur was easy was lying their ass off. It's really hard, you know, and it's very lonely, especially if it's just you in your business. And so having somebody there as your cheerleader with strategy, ready to support you and cheering you on and pushing you when you need that push is often what it takes. You know, when I've had my biggest growth spurts, it's always been because I've done a course or I've taken on a coach or even just had one session with a coach, and it's all I've needed to just feel like, yes, I'm on the right track, this is the way that it needs to be, and away I go. In my early days, that's what turned things around for me. Having a coach, and I never realized how much easier this journey could be. I'd been doing everything on my own for years and years and years, and the moment that I took on a coach, it was just like, far out, why didn't I do this years ago? You get there faster, you feel more certain about the actions that you're taking, and it's it's faster, it's more fun, you feel more confident about the actions and the direction that you're going forward in, and you have somebody to talk you off the ledge when you feel like you've made a huge mistake. And as I said, you haven't made a mistake. There are never any mistakes. That's always the way that it was supposed to be. So as an entrepreneur, you have two choices. You can continue to take risks, set the bar higher, and then expand into that rapidly, because that's what we do. Or you can choose to not act, and then you never know what is actually possible for you. Now, I've got some clients at the moment in the middle of launches, and one of them messaged me the other day and she said, I'm in fear. And I said, what's the fear? And she said, well, what if I launch this and no one buys? And I said, will you die? Will you die if nobody buys it? And she laughed and she said, well, no. And I said, you know what? This is being in business. We never know for sure when we launch something if it's going to work or not. I've had so many things bomb, it's not funny. Probably more things bomb than succeed, but that's just part of the journey. I don't take it personally. I don't, beat myself up or feel like I don't know what I'm doing because it bombed. It's usually because I haven't given it my all or put a lot of thought into it ahead of time. And that's okay. I make a lot of progress very quickly, and I make mistakes fast. I learn them hard and I learn them fast, and then I move on. But you can't expect to be on this path. You can't expect to be an entrepreneur and not be in fear. You can't expect to be an entrepreneur and not experience feeling stuck. You can't be an entrepreneur and not expect to experience anxiety and freaking terror sometimes. And you will always have those little thoughts about what if it doesn't work? What if nobody buys it? What if nobody likes my stuff? That's human nature, but you just have to get better at taming that lion. And when you have a coach holding your hand to help you do that, that makes that easier as well. And that becomes less and less. And then you get to see what's on the other side of the fear. So are you playing your biggest game right now? Are you playing the biggest game that you can right now? I know I am. I'm taking huge risks. They feel calculated. They feel good. I feel like they're going to pay off. In my gut, it's humming along like this is what it's supposed to be. I can say hand on heart, I'm playing big. Are you playing the biggest game that you can right now? And if not, why not? Why aren't you doing that? What is the comfort zone that you're sitting in, and what are the risks that you aren't taking? Because it is going to take risk for you to be able to move forward in a big way and be a major player in the area that you have set yourself up in. Jennifer, I've never experienced as much fear in my entire life as I know, Jennifer, and you are doing some big shit right now. So I get it, but I'm witnessing your flow. I'm seeing just how incredibly in flow you are. I'm seeing that what once before would have been, this thing that was stressing you out and giving you big worry and, even the little detail, you're ignoring that stuff and you're just focused on your mission. And that's what happens. And the universe is rising up to meet you. I can see it. And, I'm shooting a docu-movie when I'm in the US in July. And Jennifer's going to be a part of that because she has an incredible story to tell. And as I've said to her, use that to drive you. I want your success story to be front and center when we record in July. And she is on a mission to do that. And hats off to her. She's giving it everything. And that's what it takes. She has taken some big risks and they're paying off for her. And in the dollar sense, they're not paying off immediately, but they will. I know they will. They can't not. When you commit like that, you get help and you just continue to move forward. That is just the end result. So if you're there and you're not playing the biggest game that you can be playing right now, if you're stuck in fear, if you're stuck in anxiety and worry about all of that stuff, get a coach. It can be me, it can be anybody else, but you need somebody to help you through it because it's that hump that you need to get over that is holding you back. If you feel like you can do it on your own, go for it and do it 100%. But if you can't, get help. You will get there faster, without a doubt. It'll be a much more pleasant journey, and you're going to have somebody seeing around corners that you can't see, and you'll be able to go forward far more confidently. So if you would like to chat to me about coaching, shoot me a message and we can have a chat about setting up a quick session to have a bit of a chat to see if we're on the right page and to see if I think I can actually help you. I only take on clients these days, but that, you know, I feel in my gut, I absolutely know that I can help. So if that is something that you need, get in touch. And that is it for me today. I will see you all tomorrow. I'm back. My voice is holding out, so it feels good to be back in front of you every day. And thank you for being a part of my community. Bye for now.